Hey, welcome to another episode of the Duct Tape Goat Radio Show. So, we've got ourselves here on the Duct Tape Goat Radio Show for episode 608. And what's really exciting today is that what we have going on is National Best Friends Day. It's National Best Friends Day. If you can't find a reason to celebrate, I'm sorry. But, if you have no reason to celebrate, let me be your best friend. I could be as many people's best friend as needs a best friend. Even though I don't know your name. Speaking of names, it's also National Name Your Poison Day. If I had to choose a poison, I don't know. I mean, I guess the poison that I choose is tobacco. But coffee also is a poison. Um, Weed is like not a poison. I would prefer that. So I don't know. I don't even know what the name means or what the day means. What are we really celebrating? It's also, and I'm gonna try to look this up. It's also National Upsy Daisy Day. I have no idea what the hell that could mean. It says, each year on June 8th, National Upsy Daisy Day is set aside to encourage you to face the day positively and get up gloriously, gratefully, and gleefully each morning. Every day is a gift, and if we remember that as we rise each morning, it will help us carry a good attitude throughout the day. Whatever the day may bring us, life is full of challenges and bumps in the road, and it is our attitude that helps us over the bumps and through the challenges to move onward with a smile. National Upsy Daisy Day was created by Stephanie West Allen in 2003. Her desire in creating National Upsy Daisy Day was to make humor, laughter, and the positive attitude part of the Upsy Daisy Day way. Well, that's just lovely. You know? It's kind of silly, but whatever. That's a day. That was really positive. I was not expecting to be hit with that much positivity, just like for all of what it's worth. It's pretty good. So, today's Go Do Poison with Your Best Friend Day. Um, kidding, kidding. Poison free lifestyle. Why not? How about that? That sounds pretty cool, right? No more poisons. I don't know. I thought about doing that one day. A few weeks ago, I was like, probably encountering lots of poisons. What's poisons? It's like poisons are neurotoxins. I'm like, all right, what's commonly found neurotoxins? I'm like, all right, that means like no ramen, no chocolate, no good drugs, and at that point, I'm like, God, what else? You know what I mean? No coffee, no tobacco. I'm like, geez, man, what isn't a neurotoxin? You know what I mean? Is this true neurotoxin? You know what I mean? Man, and it's like, I don't know, maybe. How the fuck do I know? So I err on the side of caution and go breathe air in. I'm just kidding. That'd be terrible. With all the smog and car pollutants, that's all neurotoxin. Oh, but it's good stuff. Man, you know, can you believe it? It's been so many episodes of this. Oh, it's good stuff though. You know, Because not at every second am I going to be able to be like right here and you can just message me or email me. And I'm going to sit here, and despite that I'm sitting right here, I'm going to reply to you. Even though 90% of the motherfuckers that contact me via the internet just want to shit on me and fucking hate on me. Motherfuckers. And it's just like, you know what? Whatever, though. You need to stop replying. I used to be all hardcore and like, I'm such a positive person, man. I'm gonna just block all those haters and shit. And it's like, over the years, I'm trying to just ignore it. Then I'm trying to like, maybe it's just stupidity. It's not hatred, it's just they don't get it. They're not intelligent enough to understand, then they're kind of lashing out because they don't understand and it's part of confusion. And I want to give people the respect. I really try to give people the respect, you know? And it's like, most of the time it's just like, you know, fuck off, you know what I mean? And like, damn, how'd that happen so quick? You know what I mean? Just fucking turn on motherfucker, you know? So, you know, I try to keep it positive though, you know what I mean? And just shit on hatred, you know? Shit on hatred and remain positive, you know? Like, I'll shit on hatred with a smile on my face. You know what I mean? But that is, you know, hatred, you know, to do that. And it's like, I don't even want to get in that way. And I hate running into people that are in that way because then I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to reply in this way. And it's just bad news every time. It's bad news every time. So, you know, it's just another day. It's been a pretty good day, you know, celebrate the day for it's a great day. You know, and I'm going to do my best to keep this like cut down to a certain time frame because I want to see the button, make sure that this thing works. Because I'm going to be trying to do this in a way that I'm able to sign off and have us like 30 minutes. There we go. So hopefully, when it says 30 minutes, I'll be able to see when it's coming up on 30 minutes. And then I'll sign off. And then I'm going to keep going off. And it's just going to go off. And that'll be it. So hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, this is gonna happen, and it's gonna be, you know, however many more minutes of that. So just really great news, you know. Trying to just keep it positive, you know what I mean? You know, I try to be motivational, you know what I mean? Like, what's all the good stuff in the world? You know, what's good about it? You know, celebrate it. Oh, let me think what's been going on lately. The big news, you know, what's big, what's huge. Well, you know, it's just every day. You know, I've been about this every day for about 2 years. You know what I mean? You should check out my project, the autobiographical memoirs of Head Guy. Um, you know, I think it's a, I think it's a great whatever it is. You know, I don't even have feel like I have. I don't even feel like I have time to explain what it is again right now. At the second, it's like it's a book, and it's like a book on tape, but it's like 5,000 books on tapes at once. And there's also just a prime selection of one of them at once. But also there's, you know, 500 of them at once. It's great, you know, you should check this book out. You know, it's not like a choose your own adventure. It's like everybody has the same thing, but everybody comes out with a different adventure. You know what I mean? No matter how you go into it perceiving, you're going to walk out feeling completely different than anybody else. I mean, it's like the perfect piece of cinema. You could have two people, one of them laughing, one of them crying right next to each other because different synapses are triggered so that they're happy or sad. And it's the same verbal stimulus to trigger anger, happiness, sadness, grief, you know what I mean, wonder, lust in anybody. And everybody triggers differently. So, the point is it just triggers everybody, and everybody has a natural inclination to respond, to react to what they understood, and everybody understands something differently. So it really has to do with, a person's comprehension, and all it does is induce some kind of feeling. And, most of it's pretty good. So, God, fuck, man, this book thing is really cool. Y'all should check out my book. It's over on headguy.com, HEDGUI. And, it's what, 20 minutes? I think I got 20 minutes or something like that. We got no funding. This book's got no funding, it's still happening, you know what I mean? We're 1,000 pages in, and it's still being written, you know what I mean? It was 1,000 pages in the first week. It's been about 2.5 years. So actually, we're sitting on, you know, an uneditable amount of content is exactly what I've created. It's so much content, it can't even be edited. The beauty is, I can edit it just fine, but I love just creating it to release the content for what it is. That's the beauty of it. What else is going on? I mean, that's mostly what's going on, Mostly, that's the biggest news I've had for a while. A small little studio rank thing I got going on, it's Deaf Blind Mute Studios, it's mobile, know how to edit that content. We don't just shoot and record, edit content, you know. Everybody is their own content. So content's already covered. But once we record that content and then possibly even edit that content could be even better. So that's how I feel, you know what I mean? Um, but everything at the end of the day, it starts with just, you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. You know what I mean? Am I gonna be out here getting 0 views every day, putting a vlog out here on the internet just because every day is a new day? Fuck yeah! If you haven't heard my song "Every Day Is a New Day," you know what I mean? Check it out. It's a good way. It's high energy. It's positive. It's happy. I've heard it hundreds of times, and I think it's great. You know what I mean? I think it's really great. It's a great song. It's really positive, and it causes a person to ask, is this going to be just another day, or is this going to be a new day? You know, it's like every day is a new day, and it's like it can be a cause to be sad about it, or it can be a cause to celebration. You know what I mean? To each their own. But, so that's all. That was going on a couple years ago. You know what I mean? It's still great news. It still puts me in a good mood. I hope it still puts everybody else in a good mood. And, working on slowly rebuilding the studio. I've had to rebuild the studio a few times because lost my shit, and something happened, and it just happens where you know try to do this major life changing shit and end up coming out on the bottom end of things. So I gotta make sure that I keep myself working as hard as possible. And nobody's gonna know about this stuff if I don't talk about it. I don't know what people are looking for when they find me. I wish I knew. I wish I knew, like, how I'm sure Google's sitting there, like, indexing all my shit, trying to figure out how to get me to the right people that are looking for what I'm about. But it's like I don't necessarily know what everybody else is about that gets here. You know, what is it that I'm talking about? 90 different things. You know what I mean? It's like out of all 90 of those different things, one of those things brought you in here. So yeah, it's good news. Everything's good news. What else is going on besides the same stuff though? Eventually I'll get the studio rebuilt though. But, the studio is just the guy who runs it. You know what I mean? That could be in any studio, and shit would get done. Shit would get done in any studio. So I just like running my own for what it is. Keep it simple. I keep it low budget. You know, provide provide content for the people so that they can be like, I need content. Like, I don't know, maybe I got content. And I don't understand why it's not really done. There should be music going on like right now. You know what I mean? Like, if you click in the, I'm trying to put in the description on these videos, link over that Duct Tape Goat playlist so you can hear some of these Duct Tape Goat tracks. And I should actually add the book in there. Maybe you want to hear some of that craziness. It is wild. It is absolutely wild. I've been sitting there and just been so angry and so sad and so happy listening to it. You know what I mean? And it gets more normal as I've done these major edits to it and releasing different versions of the same content, which are completely different, of course. And it's not all anything too crazy or new or anything. Hang on one second. And we're totally right back that quickly. I had to make sure that this link was working correctly. For some reason, I was running into some mobile issues. But, we've got it working here. This is what's going on with this book. I got a fucking computer program and I wrote that shit to speak freely. And this is the crazy shit that it came up with.
Such hits as in your use. The same for RSI said he says who had been much of that said some such as the city to and some of the keys he his sense of use his life was spent on the face for cities this foray and the base of a seven to a sudden she saw him or use as this one says to the movies he said as he has been since he says he's for these should be sure if she shifts from safe sex to some sense it's such as fish sauce for fed says he shows his famous for instance says it's set for 5A cent as the US see if it's on the single for a set of issues as it's said as she says she has the FX you choose is this a safe area is known as he sees as he said he used to have this seasons has often said that this whole of the work he or she is not a song to use some the size of this meme.
And you know what? If you want to hear more, you just got to go over to the fucking website, headguy.com. It's right there. You can read it, you can listen to it. That's the first translation. It's possibly translated 10 more times just into English. Um, it's fucking amazing. And I'm curious, I think I should have at some point through here another one, which is the original. Lots of noise on it, but it wasn't about that. There was that noise was going on at the same time, so it kind of had to come out that way. It's wild shit though. You know what I mean? We've got this going on for days. It just goes on for days. That's what's going on today. That's how it's been going on. That's what the fuck it's all about. You know what I mean? everything comes back to how well is it going to serve that robot. You know what I mean? I want to be able to see that, I've got some actual money made eventually through all this work I keep trying to put into myself so that I can just reinvest that money and time right back into the program and the project. It's not an easy thing though. You know what I mean? I have to really buckle down, and it takes about 10 hours a single day, to actively edit and get over to you guys. I wish I could be just like, providing that daily full magazine of it. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's producing is large, like a large 100-page magazine every single day. It doesn't stop. It didn't stop yesterday. It wasn't repeating. It hasn't repeated itself yet. It's going to keep on going. And it's only gotten better. These are all just the original things that I have, the comfortability to just say, yeah, free use domain. People need to hear about this project. You know what I mean? Please host this project so that I can get word out about this project about words. And it comes back to a spiritual thing in nature, which I always feel like talking about, but I always kind of hesitate because I talk about it so much. And that's the spirituality and the nature of words. I truly believe every being is a resonance of letters and numbers and words, strung together in such a way that, it becomes that which is their true name. Just the sound of those words, that we are sound, that we are light, that we are 100% spiritual entities progressing into a physical state of world. And, that being said, we are still victim to that which could be the true name. If you're haunted by a demon, state that demon's true name and he will leave. If you have nobody around and there is truly nothing going on, then you can call upon them just in the same way. And that I sit here and talk for like 40 minutes every day, in a certain state of meditation, if I choose to keep myself aware to that perspective, you know, I'm just listening. No matter how much I talk, I'm just listening. It's the world around me echoing and resonating through me, That's just who and what's going on, you know what I mean? The what's going on is just who and, the proximity to myself. It's just one big cursive wave of individuals, being. So, it's good, life is good. I haven't had complaints for a long time, but, it gets that way. And when it does get that way, it's just like, it is what it is. I mean, that's what's going on about it. You know what I mean? Until something else is going on about it, there's nothing else going on. So, my initial goal was like, if it's the truth that every being is a word and every deity can be called upon, down to the littlest, tiniest deity that would be able to be called upon, that every individual being a part of God is a part of that entity and that being that is their own entity and their own free being. That, our spirituality is still tethered and torn amongst our true names. And, you know, it's just that, I mean, more likely than not, so I thought to myself, what's going to be a great way to, reinforce whatever seal it is that separates the, you know, criminally insane spiritually from, the safe, normal citizens within reality and the physical plane. So I decided, well, I'm just going to run this thing as long as I can for about 7 days. That's about all the time I can spend into it, 50 hours, and that's all my budgeted time. And ran that thing, and through the process of it, my entire goal and intent was that it's going to reinforce that seal. It's going to further lock down our universe in a point where there is such a complex sound which is occurring that invariantly is going to state every true name of every being that has ever existed and will exist that does not exist today, now, and that this has happened. Likely it did repeat in 7 days, but also the variance of variance, it's going to be something different. Just as it was before I jumped on, and then it is where it is today. It was different and would be different and has been different, as a direct result. Yeah, this big stuff. I believe that, I don't like rave about it from the rooftops and shit. But I sure talk about it on the radio show. I sure do try to live, in a good, positive way. So I'm not like cursing people. You know, I try to just keep it normal on the regs. On the regular, keeping it normal. I mean, that's a long-winded thing, but it's. I thought it one day, and I was like, "That's got to be true." I just believe it. That makes sense. Likely that is the generic science behind everything. First there was darkness. From that darkness, there came light. From that light, there came sound. From that sound, there came firmament matter. From that firmament matter came light. Buried beneath sound within that matter, that an organism was able to open its eyes and enlighten itself to the world around it, or something to that effect. You know what I mean? It just makes sense to me. I don't expect it to make sense to everybody, but I kind of do expect it to at least make sense to everybody. Like I said, I don't expect everybody to be all cracked about it and be like, "Oh, this is the shit. This is what's going on." Fucking spiritual awareness. That's what's up. I haven't seen that. From everything around me. It's just a personal belief. It's it makes too much sense to not be true. And that makes sense to me. What else is going on besides that? And that's why I say besides that, there's nothing else going on. That is what's going on. That's what's been the haps. That's what's gonna keep on been happening. You know, uh, Nothing's really any different. So it's just another day, relaxing out here. The weather's been kind of chilly and humid, so everyone's been like braced for the rain, but it hasn't happened yet. It's just been kind of foggy-ish. And I say ish because it hasn't even dropped to fog level. You know, all these cars and everything must still be churning it up, or we got too high of winds or something. I don't know. It's been nice though, you know what I mean? The weather's good, life's been good, keeping myself busy, you know what I mean? Not spending all my time like cracked on this book, you know what I mean? But it's the truth. This book is sick, you know what I mean? If you haven't been there, you got to check it out. Now you know the history of what's going on with it, the why, the where, the how, you know what I mean? That's what's up. Didn't really go into technical details of the programming and the development of it, and I probably won't, but that's mostly because it's too fucking cool. You know what I mean? It's need to know basis. So what does everybody need to know about it? That it's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? And if I ever get some funding, you know what I mean, might drop more information about it. To be able to release an actual higher quality. But for right now, for what it's worth and what it is, we got what we got. So that's all right by me. Besides anything that has been going on, what do I have planned? I've been preparing on this iToy camera thing. Really excited. I really want to do something different because, the only video ideas I've had is like, well, fuck, I'm just going to stream something. I'm going to try to stream some live music guitar for myself, or I'm going to try to, you know, blam, live stream some words or whatever I got on my brain, slightly influenced by the day, celebrate the day every day. What else is there? You know what I mean? It's like try to get one little outside influence and see where that influence runs to. And try again tomorrow. It's gonna be totally different. I try to do it on the surprise, just like on the whim. Like I don't study these days in advance and be like, oh, on this day and this day. It's like look at it. That's today. You know what I mean? I remember this day last year. You know what I mean? Not any fucking different today. You know what I mean? It's the same. Every day is a new fucking day. You know what I mean? That day is gonna cause me to think and act a different way based on the evolution of my experiences. You know what I mean? That's always a cause for celebration in the day. You know? So we're at 29 minutes 35 seconds, and I'm gonna sign off and try to catch this thing exactly where it's giving me an error, so you guys get an episode and I get to figure out what the fuck's going on. This is the Duct Tape Goat with Duct Tape Goat Radio Show. celebrating the day every day. Tune in every day. At some point throughout the day, every day, we're going to be broadcasting something, you know, and, I hope y'all have a great day. I can't really think of what else because I'm expecting it to go and be like, stop recording and inadvertently screw everything up. But I think I know when it's going to happen is around 33 minutes, and it's at 30 minutes and 25 seconds, and I'm trying to read numbers backwards. And it's not the numbers backwards that's weird when I look in, because I'm looking in the mirror at the thing on the camera. So the numbers are backwards, but everything linear about what those numbers mean is backwards. So instead of going left to right, time is going from right to left. And it's just a little confusing. It does not make the most sense. But it moves. I can see that, and I can see that it's got a red light. You know what I mean? That's mostly all that matters. So, I'm really grateful, you know what I mean? Anybody who's been tuning in and watching, you know what I mean? Hello, shout out to you, you know what I mean? Drop something in the comments, you know what I mean? Since I'm such a small channel, and I don't like to date my I don't like to date my words, you know what I mean? Like, if I say something now, I'm really saying it now and then infinitely. And, if I change my mind, I'll mention it in a comment if someone brings it up again. You know what I mean? Like, this is just now in the moment. You know what I mean? Everybody fucking missed it. Um, so that being said, it's just another day, and I got nothing really going on. Like, I couldn't even tell you what I just fucking said. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to come up with stuff to say. Oh, I'm really grateful for the people that watch. You know, I'll have to just like start dropping some shout outs when I'm getting comments, even though I don't want to date myself on my words, still, like, I'm gonna have to just shout y'all out because I really appreciate the support. I'm just a tiny little channel, tiny little guy, been out here for years, and the only thing I got going on is me sitting here smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee all day, and it's like, really, I should be on a live stream 24 hours a day, drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes. I mean, everything. You know what I mean? Like, if my camera's paused, it's not paused. I'm gotta use something. You know what I mean? Gotta eat and whatever. I mean, you guys could be watching me eat. You know what I mean? Like, I intend to one day eventually have my cell phone plan and my power plan installed to my life at such a rate that my phone's plugged in and it's live streaming to the internet and it's being archived and recorded. You know what I mean? Whatever it takes to make that happen, I'm so fucking poor. I can barely get tar paper above myself. You know what I mean? I can barely, like, man, it's difficult. It's difficult just maintaining to keep up the basics of life. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck. My expectations are